Hey guys, ComicCon 2024. What's going on, guys? How you doing? I really appreciate you guys coming. Just express gratitude for everyone that actually took the time to travel all the way from over there to over here. I know it's a journey, but trust me, we're going to make it worth your time. This is the third time I've done this panel. The first time I did this panel was 10 years ago when this was a joke. Like, no one was taking cell phone filmmaking seriously whatsoever. I had the opportunity to actually do a movie on the first 4K cell phone from Motorola, and that film kind of toured around a little bit, and ComicCon thought it was cool, so they had me speak. Fast forward 10 years, I did it again last year. Last year it was just me basically giving a lecture about how best practices of what to do with the cell phone. And now this year I've made some excellent connections. Brad brought on SmallRig first and foremost, and then he stacked the deck with these gentlemen. So I'll go through the list right now and give everyone an introduction, starting with myself. My name is Paul Garrett. I'm an independent filmmaker. I've been making films for 25 years. It is what I do, it's what I breathe, it's what I live. So I've been following the technology for a very long time. I started the Melendez editing, VHS to VHS, and just to see it go into digital, and now the fact that we have like high quality films in a pocket, it's ridiculous, and I just like want to celebrate this technology and share my excitement of it with you guys. So that's me. That's my website QR code if you guys want to check it out. It's filmforfood.com if you're curious about my work. Check them out. So first up, we got Joey Lopez. Oh, not my people. So I'm just gonna read out your intro for yourself. Make sure you speak with the like 6 inches of it. Who are you? You guys are my thing? Yeah. Well.
So I'm the director of marketing for Alexa. So there's a little Alexa VB, best in class memory cards,
3 years in solid state drives for all creative professionals. So from mobile filmmaking all the way up to Hollywood filmmaking, we basically make all the approved media for all of the leading cinema cameras, DSLRs, mirrorless, phones, and tablets. So I've been with the company since 2015. And as a recovering wedding photographer, I've been in the industry for a long time, well before that. So I use and live by the products as a creator myself. So I'm really fortunate to be in a position now to lead marketing efforts for Lexar. Yeah, excited to be here.
Cool, thanks, Joe. Up next, we got Damien Brown, and I actually have a bio for him. I had a bio for you too, but my bad. Ladies and gentlemen, it is my pleasure to introduce Damien Brown, a filmmaker whose journey from professional stuntman and stunt coordinator to cinematographer and director has enriched major motion pictures, TV shows, and music videos. With over 2 decades of experience in film, Damien has collaborated with industry greats like Dennis, how do you say that? Villeneuve, Christopher Nolan, Roger Deakins, Greg Fraser, and Jason Momoa. This year, Damien's latest project as director of photography, On the Roam, premiered on HBO Max, and he is currently in production for season 2, while also preparing for an upcoming feature film. Oh yeah. Additionally, Damien utilizes mobile filmmaking on press tours, creating TikToks and social media content exclusively for Jason Momoa.
How's it going, everybody? So my name's Damien Bray, not Brown.
My bad.
It's a little typo. Happy to be here, filmmaker, cinematographer. Been in the industry for a while, from a bunch of different facets, and I work a lot, with cinema cameras, but we utilize mobile filmmaking on a daily basis. And as the technology evolves, and as things are going on with like fast-consuming content on social media, and just everything that's going on with press tours, mobile filmmaking, content that's by celebrities, we're utilizing mobile devices every single day in filmmaking. Thanks for being here.
Yeah, buddy. Thanks for being here, dude. Sorry for getting your name wrong. Eddie Melendez, up next. All right. Got a fan crowd. All right. Bio for him. Eddie is the creative force behind the YouTube channel EMT Films. That's EMT Films. With a rich background as a former touring musician and product of concert photographer,
and product of concert photographer, Eddie brings a unique perspective to the world of smartphone filmmaking. His channel is a treasure trove of tips, tutorials, and inspiration for anyone looking to harness the power of their smartphone to create stunning videos. More on his videos later, but for now, ladies and gentlemen, Eddie.
What's up, everybody? Welcome. So yeah, Eddie Melendez, former musician turned musician, pivoted after COVID to focus on my passion, which is photography and videography. I shoot large format, SLR, mirrorless, you name it, but there's always something about the best camera, which is the one that you have with you, on you at all times, and being able to master it has been kind of like my challenge for the past couple of years. So.
Cool, thanks, man.
Thank you.
And last but not least, Carlo Baltazar from SmallRig. He is a Emmy-nominated director of photography based here in San Diego, has been immersed in filmmaking since 2008. With a keen eye for cinematography and a passion for storytelling, he brings a unique vision to every project. As the marketing specialist for SmallRig US, Carlo combines the expertise in filmmaking with innovative marketing strategies. He is dedicated to crafting compelling visual narratives and aspires to write and direct his own movie or TV show. Ladies and gentlemen, Carlo Baltazar.
What's up? My name is Carlo. I've been doing filmmaking since I started art school in 2008. And along that journey, I came across a lot of people through working through Apple and all that stuff. And now I'm with SmallRig, and I'm the marketing specialist for the West Coast in the U.S. And we make filmmaking stuff, especially for mobile. So.
These are the topics that we're going to be going over. Aftermarket apps, resolution, frame rate quality versus storage space, ISO, computational f-stop, LUTs, lenses, mixed media, stabilizers, audio, lighting, underwater filming, file management, post-production, and video village. We're going to try and get to all this, but we're going to hit the hot points first. So that is the agenda for the day. Stick around, it's going to be fun. All right, so first off, I figure we'll start off with aftermarket apps. Super popular. It's like phones on their own are super capable of what they're doing just with the phone app that's already built in. But now there's these apps that exist that you can download. Some are free, like the Blackmagic Cam, which is incredible, a free app that you can use. Filmic Pro has been the beast. That's been around for a very long time. It's definitely been the go-to. I think it's like $3 a week or something like that, or $40 a year. But as far as I know, it is the only aftermarket app that's capable of allowing you to use lookup tables or LUTs inside of a phone. So pretty cool. And then there's Final Cut Camera that just dropped a few months ago, which allows you to actually be a director on an iPad while there's 4 cameras synced to your iPad, which is kind of neat. And there's so many out there, it's ridiculous. But I just kind of wanted to get the panel's opinion about what they use in terms of everything. So going down the road, let's start with you, Eddie.
Cool. I'm a big fan of Filmic Pro. I've been using that one since it came out. It is known now as Filmic Legacy, and before they switched over to their new model. One of my favorite things about Final Cut is that it allows you to focus and expose on 2 separate places in your frame. So if you want to make sure that your skies are not blown up and you're focused on somebody that's not close to the sky, you have the ability to detach those 2 elements, which is awesome. And then recently I recorded directly into Blackmagic, and it's amazing. I definitely recommend Blackmagic camera. It's free, and it shouldn't be free.
Right. Yeah. How about you, Dan?
Yeah, when it comes to the apps, I've used Filmic Pro. Most recently, I fell in love with an app that's not mentioned up there, but it's called Dehancer Alpha, and it has a lot of film emulations. And another thing that I use on a daily basis is actually called Artemist, which is essentially a director's viewfinder, where you can kind of get, a sense of the composition and what lenses you want to use, and how you want to walk through the day with your AD and the actors and stuff, and do some kind of blocking. So, yeah.
Cool. You guys have any words on that? I know you're not like the most.
Yeah, I also use Filmic Pro. Filmic Pro is pretty much the pioneer when it comes to the mobile filmmaking. They've been doing it for quite a while now. And one of the things that I like about their app is that you can actually install LUTs or lookup tables, which acts kind of like a filter, but it doesn't burn it into the actual shot itself. So it just gives you a preview of what it can look like when you are editing it, and I really like that feature on it. So.
No, just to expand a little bit more into Filmic Pro, one of the reasons why I like it, like you mentioned, and I'm like, yeah, duh. Filmic Pro does have a lot of support for a lot of gimbals in the industry, stabilizers, filters, lenses, you name it. So it allows you to do things like de-squeezing an anamorphic frame, which is great if you're trying to get that cinematic, ultra widescreen kind of footage with the J.J. Abrams lens flares and whatnot. It allows you to de-squeeze that footage so you don't have to do it in post or stretch and do all those things. So yeah, Filmic Pro is pretty amazing. If you haven't tried it, check it out.
Great segue. It's like you knew that was happening. So we're going to get into stabilizers next. We're going to start off with gimbals, but there's more than just gimbals available. You can put your cell phone on a tripod. There's tripod adapters for cell phones specifically. I know SmallRig makes like a really good one. You can put it on a slider using that tripod adapter, or just like use your imagination. Phones are small, so like you have such an opportunity. You can just put it on a towel and drag it across the table and get a cool shot. Take advantage of the fact that you're using a cell phone that's small, light, and capable. But we'll start off talking about stabilizers, because we have an expert in stabilizers sitting on our table, which is gimbals. So what gimbals really do is they just have like a 3-axis stabilizer built into it, and you just kind of put your phone on there and you're capable of just moving around. It hides your footsteps really well. They make them for bigger rigs as well, but especially for smaller cameras, because it's really easy to have shaky footage when you're kind of walking around with it. Throwing it on a gimbal is a great idea. And here's a video that this man made right here utilizing this one.
Yeah, a version of a Hohem gimbal, the previous iteration.
All right, check it out.
This gimbal has a 13-hour battery, 300 grams of payload capacity, and the package includes the iSteady V3, the removable and lockable AI tracker, a remote control. I want to start with the magnetic AI tracker. Hohem has continued to elevate the quality of their AI tracking capabilities. And not only you could use it with a front-facing camera, but also you can rotate it and record and be tracked with a rear-facing camera. There is a fill light, which is great for low-light videos, and now they added a locking mechanism that keeps it in place just in case you accidentally bump it. The Hohem iSteady V3, it's the world's first smartphone gimbal with a detachable remote control. And this function is amazing because not only you can pan, tilt, change your modes, and alter the fill light while you're far away, but also it gives you the capability to stop recording even if you're further out beyond the range for the AI tracking module to capture, which is at around 16 feet. Now the Hohem iSteady V3 includes a built-in tripod. There is also an extension rod. I love the extension rod not only to fit more context in the frame, whether it's friends or the environment, but I also love the extension capability for cinematic maneuvers. Underslung shots, close to the ground, step tracking, animals, things of that nature, as well as crane reveal shots or just above the crowds, being able to go a little bit higher than normal. And because the Hohem iSteady V3 has a foldable design, it all collapses into itself and it actually fits in my back pocket. When you're using the AI tracking module, regardless of the app, just to get it started, that's it. That's all you have to do. And the gimbal will recognize you and it will start tracking you.
So, and you want to talk about some of the features? I got a few slides here for these.
Yeah. So today the iSteady V3, the Hohem iSteady V3. It's a brand new gimbal that came out a couple months ago. And it does extend, like you saw in the video, which is easy. Yeah, can you hear me? Yeah, perfect. But yeah, you do have the ability to extend if you want to use it as a selfie stick, but I don't personally like that word too much.
I actually use it more for undershot, close to the ground, a little bit more of a crane reveal shot, but I think the main event of this whole operation is going to be this removable AI tracker. And they were one of the first companies that came out with this capability. One of the challenges I always had that bothered me is that you have to use the manufacturer's apps all the time if you want to take advantage of all the capabilities of the gimbal. But right now I'm using the native camera app. I'm recording a little video to post later, and then just by doing the little OK sign, the gimbal is like following me around.
Insane.
I stand up, keeps me in the frame, and you always have a lot of different gestures if you want to interact with it. Let's say you're a solo filmmaker and you don't have the ability to go and reach and start, stop, move the gimbal around. You have the ability to use like all these different gestures to stop tracking. You can hold your hand up and it stopped tracking. So when I'm filming by myself on the beach and in every kind of scenario, even if I'm by myself and I don't have somebody to man the camera, it's really cool to just like do the little OK sign and move around, live stream, and not be tethered to the native cameras.
Cool, man. No, that's awesome piece of technology, dude. So one of the things I liked about it is the fact that it's got like this 360 rotation on it. It's a hard shot to get, especially like if you're doing something higher end, but like just the vertigo styling, the things you could do with that creatively, I think that's really cool. That was my favorite feature. Let's talk about aftermarket lenses. There's so many of them out now. I remember when it first came around, it was just kind of like, it blew me away, but now there's like options to the point where there's even like anamorphic lenses with the blue flares and the golden flares. It's amazing. So first I want to talk about the stock lenses on your camera and just drop a little knowledge on you guys about that. Best practice is always to use the stock wide, which is the 24 or 26, depending on which camera phone you have. You don't want to use your telephoto and you don't want to use your ultra wide. So yeah, you want to stick to your wide because there's a certain sensor that's installed on the standard wide lens on your camera that has a higher quality behind it than your telephoto or your ultra wide. So that's what the benefit of actually having an aftermarket lens is. You don't have to rely on the lenses and the lower quality sensors that are in your camera on the other lenses. So you can actually put a telephoto lens on your standard wide lens and be maximizing the potential of the best sensor inside of your camera. So yeah, there's different ways to attach the lenses to your camera. My favorite is there's actually like a case on your phone and then you can snap it in, but there's all kinds of different ways to do it. All sorts of different options. We had the opportunity to actually test out some of SmallRig's new lenses, and we made a video about it. So now you can do the lights.
There are many aftermarket cell phone lenses to choose from these days. And as always, there are some that stand above the rest. We got the chance to test out the new 133 and 155 anamorphic lenses from SmallRig, as well as the 58mm lens from Moment. The 133 lens captures a widescreen aspect ratio with cinematic glare effects. With high-definition clarity, its optical design ensures clear images even at the frame's edges. Paired with an app that can do the proper image squeeze, this lens is super dynamic, guaranteed to increase your production value. The 155 lens from SmallRig brings a visual experience comparable to the cinema. The brand new design integrates the tradition of the Panavision anamorphic lens and classic color matching of retro lens elements to symbolize the exclusive brand. It is a video creation tool easy to carry around, and also suitable for shooting with a stabilizer. Get 2 times closer to your subject with the Moment 58mm lens. This lens is crisp, edge to edge, and designed for the wider apertures found on the latest generation of phone cameras. this lens has stunning clarity and better low light performance at high image resolutions.
So, Carlo, you want to talk about the lenses a little bit?
Yeah, so we make lenses for iPhones, believe it or not. The ones that we make, we have an anamorphic, and at the moment we also have a 75mm macro, which lets you get really, really close physically to subjects. Are any of you guys familiar with anamorphic? Have you guys heard of that word before? No? Nobody? 50%? Yeah. So anamorphic, basically what it does is the lens itself it squeezes the entire image vertically, and what you do is you de-squeeze it in post, and the idea of it is to get more perspective in a proper like 50mm sort of focal range, because the wider you get, the fatter the face becomes, and then the more telephoto you get, the narrower the face becomes. So there's kind of an effect to it. So that's what they did a really long time ago, is they created the anamorphic lens that squeezes it, and then that's how you get that, that field of view. And I would say like majority of movies that you guys see, that we see now, are shot with an anamorphic. And you can easily see it, like if there's a flare, if you guys see a flare, like a J.J. Abrams movie.
It's like a long blue vertical flare.
Yeah, blue, gold, white. Super 8, the movie Super 8 is very anamorphic-ish kind of. Yeah. So we make those lenses. There's 3 current mounts right now. There's an M mount, a T mount, and also a screw mount. So the one that we make at the moment is the T mount and the M mount. So,
Damien or Eddie, you guys want to chime in on lenses at all?
Yeah. I've actually used some of the SmallRig offerings as well, and I think it's a must. There's definitely a conversation there to, the right place, the right time. This was a really good example in the convention in which, the conditions are okay for you to be able to not use any lenses, but the moment you start getting creative, which is the whole idea, and you start trying to get better low light performance, you want to get better depth of field, a little bit more blur in the background between your subject. That's when your telephoto lenses, that's when your anamorphic lenses are going to elevate the quality of your footage 100%. So.
I was going to just reiterate what he said. The sensor being so different, I predominantly try to just shoot on the wide, and even though I haven't had to use the lenses in many cases, it really is something vital if you're going to start getting into the creative side of things, to continue just to use that part of the sensor. I feel like is the best.
All right, now we're going to get into mixed media. So it's a realistic scenario where you're going to be on a project where you're shooting on a super high quality camera, like a RED, something kind of mid, like a Sony FX3, and then you're going to bust out your cell phone and include that footage as well. Now, up until a few years ago, probably matching this was a total disaster. You could tell the difference between, but now we're to a point where you can't really tell the difference, especially if you're recording in ProRes on your cell phone. You can match that footage to a RED, you can match that footage to a FX3. You can record in log on all 3, and then just like color match on all 3, no problem. So we have a real life example of that being used by Damien. So we're going to share that real quick, and then I'll have him talk about their process a little bit.
Yeah, thanks, Bill.
Brazil has the most loving, amazing fans in the world. We love you.
You guys are just going to have so much fun watching this. Thank you so much.
was awesome.
Thank you, thank you. So like what he was saying earlier, you know, and he was as well with the best camera that you can have on you is the one that you have on you all the time. So we're constantly pulling out our phones, capturing moments in between. I predominantly shoot on Red, which is a large format cinema camera, and it takes a long time to start up. So like in between, as you're burning through batteries, you know, you always have your cell phone in your hand. We're popping off shots here and there on press tours. We're going from live streaming to making TikToks. We're having another capability that we're able to do is, one of them is actually sitting right here, is we're able to plug a USB-C in, and we're basically able to shoot at the highest resolution, which would be ProRes, or the highest codec, I should say. And we're able to be essentially shooting and instantaneously pull out the hard drive, hand over the hard drive to our editor, while we're continuing to shoot on the red carpet. That video that you just saw, we shot that, edited it, colored it, put it out within 6 hours of us shooting it, essentially. And if it wasn't for being able to take all these different medias, put them together, and come out with content fast so that people can see what's going on currently as it's trending, you know, the technology is getting better and better every single day. There's about like 5 of us with iPhones, and then there was 3 cameras. And so, yeah, that was that.
Nice. Sick. So I think it's to the point where your cell phone is a viable B cam on any production, like seriously. Yeah. So thanks for sharing that, man. And also, we kind of wanted to take the opportunity to share the collaboration between SmallRig and Damien, and they are making things for him and Jason Momoa custom. So he was able to bring this custom rig that they're making for them that they're using on their shoots. SmallRig is cool because like they do all sorts of things and they'll listen to their customers. Like if you have a good idea, they will seriously take it into production and then give you a percentage of the sales from it. So if you guys are interested in that sort of stuff and making a custom piece that SmallRig will manufacture for you, this is an example of something that they're doing on like a huge professional level.
Yeah, so this is our current cage right now that we're developing with Damien and Jason. This actually has all of their signatures in it, but yeah, it's a brass-colored cage. This one's designed specifically for the iPhone 15 Pro Max. We also do make it for the Samsung S24 as well, and the S23, and then the previous iPhone lineups as well. But this one has the pinch quick release side handles that we've developed. And the side handles actually rotate as well. So whatever angles you have that you want to do, you know, low angle shots, high shots, you can quickly switch or rotate the handles to compensate for that. And yeah, so it's you know, it kind of acts like I don't know if you guys are familiar with the OtterBox cases. So it's pretty much the same size, and you know, you can just leave the cage on the phone itself to use it as a case. And then on the back part of it, if you guys look at the camera, that's the actual mount. So you can actually mount those lenses straight to it without having using any other attachments. So it basically turns it into a mirrorless camera. So.
Awesome.
Yeah, and something to say about this is pretty bare bones. They have like hot shoe pickups. When we're shooting on press tours, we mount the actual SSDs to the back of this, and there's just tons of different things. Hookups for lights, 1/4-20s, 3/8s everywhere.
Does it have the built-in lens adapter on it too?
It does, yes. So this one right here comes with the T-mount, but you can actually unscrew that if you remove the phone. There's a little screw inside. You can actually change it to an M mount or a screw mount.
All right, let's get into file management. So it was an issue for a long time. As soon as they introduced larger formats into cameras like ProRes, you would fill up your hard drive super fast. And you know, normally not a big deal. You just dump your footage to your DIT, right? Sorry, the transfer speeds on the phones were not like what they should be, considering how much data we were ingesting at the time. So the solution has definitely come about. Companies like Lexar have solved this issue to where we can actually attach external hard drives and record directly to them. So I'm going to share a little video about their latest product.
With the moves of a jungle cat, I'm gonna
So Joey, there was another video you sent me where there was a content creator that you guys gave one of these, and the guy seriously tried to break this, and he couldn't. He was surprised. At the end of the day, the footage got captured. He could not break this thing, and it still was able to dump onto a computer. So he was so impressed with it. I thought that was a cool video. But tell us about it. What's going on?
Yeah, so really Lexar has been really dedicated to the file management, file storage, data storage space as of late. Just in the last few months, we launched 3 different portable SSD drives for different types of content creation, all the way from mobile filmmaking to your hybrid shooter, down to your more rugged in the field creators who need something more rugged. What you guys just saw there is our Armor 700 SSD, which just launched last month. IP66 rated, ultra tough. As you were mentioning earlier, our creators have run it over with cars and dropped it off of buildings and basically ran it under a river stream, shook it off, dusted it off, dried it off, and then it still worked. So this is the Armor 700. This is the ultra rugged solution that we're basically giving creators now. You know, their creators are really tough on their gear, so you can feel a little bit less eerie when you have to drop her. You know, on production set too, it's if you're tough on gear, it gets dropped or lost, and it can take a beating. The other one that we recently launched is the SL500. This is our ultra slim, sort of compact SSD solution. These are 4 terabytes of storage, so you actually have a lot more space now. So as capacities go up, we're always eager to make it as small of a form factor as possible. And then of course around mobile content creation, being on a job and constantly moving from DSLRs and mirrorless to cinema cameras to phones, having a portable SSD drive that can shoot to any camera, from phone to DSLR to mirrorless, all your projects are saved on here, so you don't have to worry about transferring it with the computer in post or getting it to different editing teams, or it's already on a high speed medium like a SSD, 2,000 megabytes per second read and write. So it helps speed up workflow in post too, when you don't have to worry about going from card to reader to computer to transferring to box to it's all here, right? So this eliminates 2-3 steps already. So we're really excited about these.
Yeah, I'm excited about them.
Yes, so what you guys saw there is our standard black, matte black colorway. In the spirit of ComicCon and working with Damien, we also created a custom gold brass colored portable SSD with the branding of On the Roam for you, bud. So, yeah.
Nice.
These are absolutely amazing. They're so vital just for consuming media, the speed of an SSD. Like, you know, just a year ago, we weren't capable of anything like this, and that's absolutely amazing.
Game changer. Bravo, Lexar. Like, seriously.
Oh, yeah.
Anything to say about that?
Yeah, I got something to say about that.
Sure.
No, but for real, I've been using gimbals. That's kind of like my bread and butter, and being able to build a solution that records directly into it, especially like they mentioned now that file sizes are getting bigger and bigger. You do have the ability to invest into a higher storage device. Having said that, very important, I don't know if we're going to mention this later on, but the fact that this drive can hit 2,000 megabytes per second read-write is incredible. A couple weeks ago, I worked on a 500 megabyte read-write, and that footage took substantially to transfer to the computer and then to edit, and then something that quick allows you to work off the drive too. So if you're running on a computer that doesn't have 1, 2, 4 terabytes of storage, that also allows you to supplement that storage and work directly off the drive without seeing any bottlenecks or anything like that. That usually was the vein of my existence, because, ooh, wow, 4K, it's great. But when you're editing, that's when you start scratching your head with the file management side of things, which, yeah.
Was one of the hardest parts. It was like, in May, I was like, okay, I want to shoot this on a cell phone, but I don't want to deal with that. Now it's like, okay, let's do it. Another thing that was tough to deal with is, okay, you're shooting your film, and on most sets you're going to have a video village, right? So you have your director of photography, your AC standing, there's a camera department, and then you have your director, and they're usually standing in front of a monitor seeing what the camera is seeing and directing from there. And it's kind of hard to do on a cell phone, right? Normally you have your director standing right on top of your director of photography or camera operator, because that's the only way you can actually monitor the footage. That's changed as well. So this is a whole new development. I saw like a very clunky tutorial on how to do it with a wired network system, and I kind of revamped that and made my own. So here's a video that I created to kind of share with you guys the capabilities of Filmic Pro and the realistic possibilities of having a director's monitor with your cell phone production on set.
What's up everybody, Paul Garrett, filmforfood.tv, coming at you with a tutorial on how to do a wired networked video village for a cell phone director's monitor on location. So what we have here is an iPhone 14 Pro that is running the app called Filmic Pro. Inside of Filmic Pro, there's a setting where you could set your camera to be a satellite camera. Now the satellite camera is going to be sending a signal, and what you need is this lightning bolt to network cable adapter. I have a Cat 6 cable here that's running a signal out. Then you bring it over to your wireless router. We're not using it wirelessly, we're using it wired. So really it's just a switch. So you plug your send into the WAN, and then you plug any of the LAN ports into your receiving iPad over here. You're gonna want some power, so we got a battery power here. If you're at home, you can use a wireless network for this, but because we're on location, there's no Wi-Fi here, so we're using this wired setup. So that goes out of the switch, up into the iPad, come around here and see the image, back into another network adapter to lightning port, and then we can see our scene. So that's seeing what the iPhone is seeing, and you have a on-location director's monitor for mobile filming.
Any thoughts on that, guys?
That's wild. That's pretty cool.
Right.
Badass.
Okay. Is that going to help anyone, like, you think? Because could we make it less clunky? Like, can SmallRig come up with something that...
No, that's actually pretty good because you're not worrying about any of the wireless inconsistencies.
Right.
So it just goes straight to the cable. So it's pretty practical. I like it.
Yeah, Filmic Pro, actually, that app, not sending it through a network cable, you can actually do it wirelessly on a wireless network if you have that capability, but you don't always have it, especially when you're shooting on location, so that's why I kind of put that together. Yeah, and this slideshow will be available for you guys if you guys want it. If you filled out that QR code, I can get you this slideshow, so if you're curious about that. Okay, let's talk audio. So what do you guys think about the best practices in terms of how to capture audio on your cell phone rig? I'll call on you by name if you want. Eddie, take it.
Yeah, I'll start. I think it all comes down to the context, right? I often shoot solo. It's me, myself, and I. And then often a subject, whether it's my wife walking down the street or a skateboarder or a drummer. So understanding what you need and if you really need it. On my YouTube channel, I uploaded a video a couple days ago actually of the SmallRig, and I tracked drums, but the drummer already brought his own music, he recorded everything. So the fact that I was able just to clap at the beginning, not use anything at all, was awesome. But then on instances when I'm filming myself or a subject, leveraging an outside microphone is paramount, especially in a convention like this, which a lot of noise, a lot of environmental audio, especially in the ocean outside as well, a lot of wind. Leveraging wireless microphones that have some sort of windscreen capability, like the Rode, wireless microphones is amazing. And not only also for yourself or spoken word, but also being able to perform mic placements and put them on the environment. Let's say you are recording a video of San Diego, of the trolley going by, having audio of the trolley going by to enhance your footage in post is amazing. That's the difference between just footage with music and then footage with Foley, with the audio of the environment that puts the audience a little bit more immersed into what you're trying to communicate. So absolutely. I use Rode microphones, I use Ceremonic microphones. Hohem came out also with a wireless microphone solution. All of them are great, right? It all comes down to your price point and what you're trying to capture.
Damien Bray, you got any comments on audio?
Yeah, like to what he was saying, a lot of environments that I'm in, it's so fast-paced on the go, and we just try to sync up the camera from other cameras by clapping in the beginning and having our editor take care of it. But you know, one thing that I found recently that was really helpful is DJI has I'm forgetting the model name, but DJI has a nice USB-C to recorder where we're able to just take these lavs and they instantly link, and we're able to attach it to a pocket, attach it to the other people, and have multiple audio sources going into this, and then we're able to pull and sync off of other cameras as well.
Yeah, the Rode Go-2s are like, it was a game changer for mobile, just like videography in general. For me, audio was definitely the tougher issue, and now this set comes with 2 lavs that have a built-in high-end microphone in them, so you don't even have to like plug in a lavalier and attach it separately, and then the receiver. And like right now, I'm running on, that's going into that camera right now, thank you. And it's coming off that speaker over there. So I'm recording this session with the Go-2s straight to that camera back there. So like they're so versatile. And they have a hot shoe and a clip that actually goes on. The other cool option that I found was this is a Kudo micro boom that attaches to their rig. And like you can get an interview style someone by rigging that in and then attaching it to the lightning port on the side. So, I mean, they're coming up with stuff. So it's out there, and I mean, audio is like 60% of your movie for the most part. So it's cool that they're starting to really get innovative on the audio side, and you're starting to see all these like really cool things come out that are making it easy for cell phone content creators to make things. SmallRig, you got anything to say about that?
Yeah, audio is super crucial. Yeah, like Eddie was saying, it really depends on what kind of style you're trying to go for. If you're trying to go for like a vlogging type of style, or if you're actually, you know, shooting a project. It really depends, but lavalier mics is, you know, almost a must for, you know, for most of us. Even, you know, like people that you see in the exhibition hall today, you know, just like walking around, sometimes you'll see them like with like a clip. So that's essentially like the lavalier mic connected to their phones or their cameras. So that's what's capturing their audio, and it's a lot crisper and it's more clear. So yeah, you don't get that sort of echoey kind of sound that you normally get with, you know, with iPhones. So,
cool. All right, next we're going to get super nerdy with computational f-stop. I think as of last year, this was like definitely the big game changer in cell phone filmmaking, and it was the ability to actually have shallow depth of field with using just your cell phone. It's called computational f-stop because if you guys are familiar with how a lens works, you have an aperture that opens and closes just like your eye dilates. And when that happens, it gives you the ability to keep things in focus that are in your foreground and blurry in your background and also blurry in your foreground. And that's what creates like this 3-dimensional cinematic look. It's shallow depth of field. And you couldn't do that on a cell phone. It was all just 2-dimensional. Up until last year when iPhone came out with the ability to actually keep things in focus in a plane and then actually tap on the screen and then it would rack focus to something else on your screen. So I made a little video about that.
Computational focal length is a concept used in digital photography to simulate the behavior of a physical camera lens. It represents a virtual focal length that can be adjusted digitally to manipulate the perspective and depth of field in a digital image. In traditional photography, the focal length of a camera lens determines the angle of view, magnification, and depth of field of the resulting image. The wider the f-stop, the shallower the depth of field. However, in computational photography, where images are captured by digital sensors and processed using software algorithms, the concept of focal length is completely simulated. By manipulating the computational focal length, it is possible to simulate the effect of changing the lens's physical focal length, allowing for various creative effects and control over the image's perspective.
Game changer.
In certain digital setups like the iPhone 14 Pro, a digital video clip that was captured in cinematic mode can have its focal length edited in post-production. I'm going to say that one more time. With certain cell phones, you can edit your focus in post-production. If you don't like what you or the camera chose to have in focus during the shot, simply change the subject you want in focus, or if you want everything to stay in focus, get rid of the shallow depth of field altogether. Computational focal length is hands down the largest innovation in cell phone cinematography, and has brought this technology even more firepower when compared to traditional digital cameras. For the longest time, we have seen cell phones trying to be like cinema cameras. But with the new ability to fix focus in post, we may be seeing the first technology that cinema cameras are going to try and copy from cell phones.
Big words. Big words. Anyone got anything to say about it?
Oh, I use it all the time. I'm guilty as charged. Yeah, absolutely. I use it a lot for supplementing and supporting any kind of videos that I create. If for some reason I don't have my main big camera or any kind of product shoots that I'm doing as a professional outside of my channel, I will absolutely use this feature, and it's available across a myriad of different smartphones. So don't be afraid to tinker with it and play with it.
I always shoot wide open.
Wait, what is that? I always shoot wide open. Am I the only one that didn't know about this feature? Anyone else? No? Okay, I'm not alone. Cool.
So this is actually, I used to work for Apple. This is actually built into the iPhones. Everything, I think from the 13 and above, this is built into it. So you guys are actually able to do this now.
Question? Yeah, in the stock camera app, it only allows you to like point on the screen and it'll rack to whatever you touch on the screen. Inside the apps, you have the capability of like racking focus to what you want, like controlling it with your thumb. And then there's actually some apps now that allow you to connect a pull focus device, like a professional pull focus, like an assistant camera would use, to rack focus separately from the camera itself. So yeah, it's all happening right now. Ladies and gentlemen, that is the 2024 Mobile Filmmaking Panel. Thank you guys so much for coming.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you. Thank you. Really appreciate it.